Alright. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Omar BYT. And welcome back to the second episode of the Barcelona News Roundup. We have three great topics to talk about today, including the first bid for Dani Olmo rejected by Leipzig, Nico Williams' decision, and Vitor Roque possibly on his way out to Hilal. So stay tuned, guys. Please like, share, subscribe, and let's go. Alright, so before we get started with the three topics that we have today, I would just like a minute to basically talk about the friendly we had yesterday with Auto. Basically, Auto is a team in Catalonia. It's called Unió Esportiva Auto, a team in Catalonia. And we played a few young kids. It's basically a friendly before we go to the preseason tour in America. And it was basically, just a friendly for the youngsters. And a few youngsters really impressed in it. One of them was Pablo Torre, who scored the winning goal, but two players who were impressed by Hansi Flick, basically Hansi Flick was very impressed with these two, was Marc Bernat and Marc Casado. Now, Marc Casado is actually a player that as Barcelona fans we know because we did watch him last season play a few games. Marc Bernat, not really that much. So I hope that we do see him in the preseason tour in America. And that's basically it. I don't want to go too much into detail about it because I didn't watch a lot of the game. So I hope that, we do see some of these youngsters play in the preseason because it will be very, very exciting. Now, to the first topic of this video. Let's talk about it. The first bid for Dani Olmo has been rejected by RB Leipzig. Apparently, we offered 60 million, and I'll basically just give me a minute. I'll talk about basically how the transfer worked. However, what we do know is that it was rejected by Red Bull Leipzig, and I am very, very impressed with the fact that we even went for Dani Olmo first. I genuinely thought that we were basically waiting for the Nico Williams move to basically happen, then maybe get into the whole Dani Olmo situation. However, we did actually go for the Dani Olmo move, but apparently it was rejected. And in a way, I can see why it was rejected because basically this is how the contract apparently went. Apparently, from what I've heard, we apparently want basically offering 60 million. However, it's not 60 million in full. Apparently, the deal was going to be a 40 million. Basically, we're going to give 40 million, and the 40 million was going to be given in January of 2025 with 20 million in add-ons, which only works if, let's say, we won La Liga, we would have to give Red Bull 10 million, and if we won 2 Champions Leagues, then we would give them another 10 million to basically cover the whole transfer fee. And apparently that was not enough. And to be fair, I can see where they're coming from. I see, what Barcelona were basically doing there. But this is a player that we know, Dani Olmo. Even as Barca fans, we know this. Now, Dani Olmo, his first choice is Barcelona. He's made it clear to his agent, and everyone who's around him knows he wants to return to the club. This is his first choice. However, this is the thing. Dani Olmo is a wanted man. We know Bayern Munich are after him. We also know that Manchester City are after him. So, this is what is interesting about this whole situation. Is Dani Olmo going to try to force the move to Barcelona? Or what's going to happen? We don't really know much about this, and hopefully we do get some more information, and hopefully we do go back because apparently we're trying to ease out of the deal. I'm not impressed. I really want us to get Dani Olmo. If we can get him and Nico, I'll be very, very, very happy about that. Now, second news to come out, speaking of one of the players I just mentioned, Nico Williams. Now, it seems like this saga has been going on for way too long, and honestly, it's starting to get exhausting as a Barcelona fan. Is he going to move? When is he going to move? Have we made the first move? Have we made the first bid? Have we agreed personal terms? It's all over the place. Apparently, we have agreed personal terms with Nico Williams, and it's come out that apparently Nico Williams will be making his choice very soon. Apparently, he will be making his choice probably in the next 24 hours. Apparently, that's what I heard. But it's very interesting now because from what we've heard, Nico Williams is most likely going to be our first signing, which means basically all it's down to is Nico Williams' choice. If he decides to move, then the process for the move will move faster, and hopefully we get things done because preseason is basically starting soon. We're going to be playing Manchester City on the 30th. I need us to have a sign-in by then. I have not been liking the way we've been slow in the transfer window. It's not impressive, guys. We're literally in the first month of the transfer window. It's time for us to start stepping up and start showing what we're gonna do. Real Madrid have just gotten Mbappe, the after Trent Alexander-Arnold, the after players like Alphonso Davies, and not to forget, they just have Endrick. So they're literally building from what they have. And we're just sitting around holding on to our hands. We don't have a right back. I'm speaking of that. I'll talk about that later on. But we don't have a right back. We are basically having all these issues in the team. Our attack is very, very awful. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not looking forward to our attack. This is why I need us to make signings. We need attacking signings. I need to see this move for Olmo go through. I need to see this move for Williams go through. And if it's up to me, I would like another striker. Because I'll be honest with you, Lewandowski, I don't see him having that much of a good season this season. I'll be very honest. I think that, this season we're going to see his age really show. So that's what I really think about the whole situation. I do hope that we do get this whole situation sorted out soon and we can start seeing some signings before the preseason tour starts. Finally, pardonly. So I've talked about a lot of transfers in, but I haven't talked about any transfers out. The first one I would like to talk about is a player who it seems that it just hasn't worked out. I think it's time for us to cut our losses. And apparently, we might be cutting our losses because Vitor Roque, it seems that he's on his way out. Al Hilal have apparently shown great interest in the youngster. We might be seeing a bid coming very, very soon for the player. And look, I'll say this, right? I don't think Hansi Flick I don't see him really having a lot of game time under Hansi Flick. Hansi Flick is not really known for really bringing in a lot of youngsters. So I really like to see what's going to happen. I don't know. I don't think that he's going to have a lot of game time. And look, if we can get some money for him, let's go for it. Like I've already made it very clear, I want to see a reshuffle in the attack. Now, apparently, we haven't heard anything about Rafinha. We haven't heard anything for Ansu. We haven't heard anything about any of these players just yet. So I would like to see us basically make moves. And listen, if we get some money out of this, that's good. And also, it will help us get some new attackers. There will be more space for new attackers to come into the team. So hopefully, we do get more information out of that. And I hope that for both parties, we can get this move sorted out very, very soon. Now, finally, before I basically end the show, I would like to talk about a player who I talked about last week, who is basically on his way out or is already on his way out, and that is Sergio Roberto. Now, Sergio Roberto is practically gone. His time at Barcelona is over, and apparently, recently we heard Hansi Flick basically talking to the media about the players he's looking into, players he wants, players that he's impressed with, players that are not in his plans, and he's already made it clear in his basically press conference that Roberto is not part of his plans. Now, this is very, very important because now it's not important in that he's important in the team anymore because with all due respect, listen, you're a legend. I will never forget that game against Paris Saint-Germain. But look, let's be real. You're not the same guy. You're not that guy anymore. And you were not that guy last season. You were basically deputy right back in the whole team. You were basically a bench player. You were not playing ahead of Cancelo. You were not playing in the midfield. So, listen, I think that for both parties, it's time for you to move on. Now, that is important. What is important about this and why I say this is important to look at is because Sergio Roberto, even though he is not a starting player, is the captain of the team, which now means who is going to be the captain of the team. Now, I think as Barcelona fans, it's very obvious who is going to be our captain next season if Roberto leaves, which is obviously Marc-Andre ter Stegen, our goalkeeper. Now, he was basically the captain whenever Roberto didn't play. So, it's very, very, very obvious that he will be the captain. Araujo would probably be the captain behind him. And third captain will probably be De Jong. Because we know that was basically the rankings. It was Roberto as the captain. We had ter Stegen as the second captain. We had Araujo as the third captain. And De Jong was the fourth captain. Now, that is basically it. And listen, I know a lot of people have been talking about recently the thing that's been going viral with the whole De Jong situation because, and I'm just going to have a few minutes, just a minute to talk about it. Listen, this is it. at the end of the day, I can't really hate De Jong that much, because this is something I can't blame a player like De Jong for. The only person I can blame in this situation, and as Barcelona fans we have to blame, is Bartomeu. He's the one who gave him the contract. He's the reason why we are where we are. At the end of the day, De Jong was given a contract and he signed it. And listen, as a Barcelona fan, I know this is hurting us. But at the end of the day, people who are pointing the finger at De Jong, I don't understand it. At the end of the day, De Jong is a footballer and he is a person outside of football. He's going to take care of himself, take care of his family. And I get it. I read it. I have nothing against it. And listen, if the only choice we have is to sell him to improve the team, listen, we got to do what we have to do. We have to do what we have to do. I think that at the end of the day, if De Jong has to leave, then he has to leave. So that's really it. That's really all I wanted to talk about, guys. Listen, guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel, guys. And be here every single Saturday. I'm always going to be uploading the Barcelona News Roundup every single Saturday. So like, share, subscribe, and peace, you guys.